Hello, this is Eric from forest.ink from Bosque Medicinal. Here to talk a little bit about climate change. So most recently you've likely heard, at least as of the time of this recording, a lot of news about climate change, a lot of news about Greta Thunberg's speech as well, which presents a very realistic yet very dire situation for us to learn to accept, for us to learn to be a part of. So, I mean, in short, the climate science is quite clear that if we don't change our act, all of us, each individual, doesn't adjust to this new reality, then we are setting ourselves up, maybe not ourselves personally if you are more advanced in your age, but all of us really, because we're all one, up for some very, very drastic challenges, if not an apocalypse. It's one of the first times in human history that we've set ourselves up as a species to completely wipe our own lives and other lives out, just due to living as we are accustomed to living. This isn't due to necessarily a war or anything like this, or aggression, but simply being. And I think this is very tough for a lot of people to accept. It's very tough to accept on many levels because, one, it's very scary. We may have ushered in, rather, an apocalypse for ourselves, for our children, for future generations, but it's not so future. It's not so distant. It's tangible at this point. And this is if, again, not 100%, but only if we don't take action now. So it's up to us to change our ways. The other aspect of this, of course, is that we run through a gambit of emotions when we have to accept this, when we have to realize this, because we have to accept that, and this is where I think maybe our organization varies from many other organizations, is we don't set ourselves up as us and them. There is no them. There's only us. There's only all of us. And we, as a race, regardless of how old you are, regardless of where you come from on this planet, have set ourselves up for this great challenge, for this challenge of climate change, because we've been consuming excessively, and I understand that some cultures maybe not so much, no? We have to accept climate change at some level. It's scary. It's potentially an apocalypse, and we also have to accept our own role in this, because again, there is no them in us. There is no differentiation between the bad guys and the good guys or anything so simplistic. This is much more complex. There are many of us that have lived our lives with full intention to be good people. In fact, I think almost everyone does this. And yet, we have been complicit in ushering in this challenge, ushering in this very grave situation that we find ourselves in. So many people go through many emotions in trying to accept this, and trying to accept that I myself personally have made a mistake somewhere along the line by not acting sooner, by not being more conscientious of my actions. Both. We can blame others, we can blame the system, we can blame corporations, we can blame lazy people. None of that actually makes any sense. We only blame ourselves, we only blame who we are, because we're all really, truly in this together. There is only one planet that's part of the problem that we've come to, no? So we go through a lot of emotions when we go through this. We go through fear of, the future seems dark, seems bleak if things don't change quickly, and we look around ourselves and we say, well, how quickly can things change? So there's fear. There's guilt, saying, well, hold on, but I fly a lot, I've consumed plastic, I have previously been eating meat, things like this. That's okay too. There's pain, existential pain, very real pain of seeing the catastrophe that is unfolding around us. We can see species dying off. They've been dying off every year for a long time, but now we see it much more vividly because it's in our attention. It's in the global consciousness finally. And this is hard to see. It's hard to understand that, my consumption of plastic has led to some sea turtle suffocating and starving to death on it, or some fish being unable to gather nutrients because they can no longer consume. or that my consumption of food has led to an entire football field worth of, or more, probably much more, of rainforest being destroyed, just so I can eat something that I want when I have many choices. No, it's painful. We feel guilty. We feel afraid. But this is okay. This is also okay. All these emotions are okay. We have to go through them, because at the end we have to accept them. And to really get to a place where we can have positive action, we must accept these emotions. And to accept them, we must forgive ourselves. We must forgive the other, which is us. But we must forgive really our societies, our race, ourselves, so that we can accept what has happened. And the past is the past. We cannot change it. So accept it. Understand that this is just our reality. And from there we can move forward and we can start making the decisions today that matter for today and tomorrow and onwards. Our sense of self is defined by, certainly, our history, our story, our beautiful stories. But also, what do you choose to do today? What do you want to do today in light of understanding all of this, in light of understanding that if we do not adjust our behavior as a society, as a race, as a species, then we are asking for quite a bit more trouble than we already have, and I think most of us would agree life is already very complicated. So make decisions today for a better future, for a better today. And from there, we can start accepting what has gone on, and we can start accepting who we are and our place in this world around us, and our place in our societies, our place in how we want to affect the future, because we all have the power. We all have the power to affect our future, to affect the world around us, to affect our communities, to affect our societies. And it is by doing this that we can eventually, hopefully, make a positive impact and adjust our ways. That we can remove ourselves from hyperconsumption. We can remove ourselves from consuming things that we know are damaging to this planet. We can call for action as well from other constituents of our societies. That is, the government, corporations, that have a lot more power in some ways. And we feel occasionally weak against them, and we should not, because they are also only human at the end. And they're larger entities, but they're made of humans. They're made of people just like you and me. And this is where the change starts. This is where the action happens, is not from some company going out, because a company cannot do anything if a human does not choose it. The same with the government. And they will not choose until the humans tell them, we want something different. We no longer want everything wrapped in 5 layers of plastic just to deliver it to me. So, we can change it ourselves, and in changing ourselves, we can impact our societies. So, we have to stop blaming each other. We have to work together. It's not about, as I said before, it's not them and us. It's just us. And we can only control one part of that, and that is you. You can control only you. I can control only me. And from here is where we make the change, because that's all we can change. But from here is also where we have to start, and what must change for a positive future. A future living in harmony with this beautiful nature around us, in harmony with our world, in harmony with the life, so that we can reclaim our role as guardians. We are not here to dominate. We are here to protect, to love. And in love, we find that really it's to serve. We're here to serve our world, serve the life on it, all the life on it. So, act now. Act now with love, for yourself, for others, for everything that we share this existence with. And there are ways to do this, right? We can do this on a daily basis. You can think of your own habits and say, are my habits hurting or helping this planet? And all the judgment is only your own. We are accepting. We understand that people have different needs. People have different habits, different programming in that sense, different customs. And it will take time for all of us to do these things. So we do not need to make a 100% shift in a day. That would be beautiful, but it's tough, right? That's really challenging. So maybe just do a little bit every day. So which habits do you have that are helping, and which habits do you have that are hurting our planet? Adjust them as you see fit. Can you lower your consumption, for example, of pretty much, well, everything at this point? Can you find healthy supply chains? Can you purchase items that you need locally without any packaging? Can you eat less meat? Can you buy just less things? Less plastic? Make less deliveries? Purchase fewer clothing? Maybe go to used shops? Order in less? Recycle more? I mean, there's so many little things that we can do in our world. Start looking into upcycling, sharing. Ultimately, we should not look at this as an exercise in removing things that we do, because we do these things in part, hopefully, because they bring us joy, they bring us happiness. And from a place of joy and happiness, we are maybe better situated to love one another. So do not look at it as you're removing opportunity, because, okay, part of it is this, but in removing something, we open up space so that more can happen in our lives. So new things can happen. We open ourselves up to new adventures. So I hope that you can see this perspective and that you can take this change with excitement, with joy, and say, no, I want new adventures. I want to learn how to create my own shampoo, or I want to learn how to upcycle these old clothing that I have that looks really cool but just doesn't suit me anymore. I mean, there's so many new things we can learn, so many new projects we can engage in, and it doesn't have to be from the creative angle. It can be, well, I'm, more business-minded, so, okay, well, can you think of how you can adjust your supply chains or how you can adjust your product development to be more in line with the planet? I mean, there's so many opportunities here, and so this is it. It is saying, grasp these new opportunities. We're at a point in our cycle as a human race where this is perhaps the end of an era, and we can make it and choose it to be the beginning of something new and beautiful. This is always how cycles work. At the end, there's destruction, there's sacrifice, there's the removal of old habits that no longer suit us, old ideas that no longer serve us, and we gladly sacrifice them so that we have something new and exciting to look forward to, new and beautiful to embrace and engage in. So, in short, I guess it's okay to have fear, to have guilt, to have this pain. It means that you're on the road towards acceptance, because you're on the road to understanding where your place is. And when we can all accept it, forgive ourselves, forgive the other, and then look at your daily habits. Look at what you do today, right now, and say, what can I adjust? And make it just a gradual but continual progress towards a more sustainable life, a life more in touch with everything else, so that we can truly love one another, love all the life on this planet with an open heart, knowing that we've done our best to try and care for it, to try and serve it, to try and serve life on this planet. So I wish you a beautiful day, a beautiful evening, wherever you are. Have fun.